Our European dream is all but over.
If you don't have a song, you may as well not go to the pub at all.
Lads!
Watch this.
Lads, welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Another disappointing one. We've just lost another game, 2 in a row. Obviously lost to Leicester the other day, and now we've gone and lost at home to Everton, which very, very disappointing because Leicester were a good side. Everton were all right, but that's all you had to beat us today. Bit sad. I'm trying to stay as upbeat as possible because this has been the greatest season of me supporting Sheffield United. We couldn't have asked for much more, really, could we? I think the European dream was a bit of a pipe dream. It's always difficult going into the business end of a season, and we just didn't have it, did we? We didn't have the strength and depth in the squad. We didn't have those sorts of players that pop up and score important goals at important times. We thought we did. We thought we had the legs when we beat Spurs. That amazing victory when we beat Wolves in the last minute and we were all buzzing. And then going and beating Chelsea, we were absolutely even more buzzing. And then we've had a couple of lukewarm performances, which is a bit sad. But I hope everyone is going to join me in after the Southampton game just to pop a bottle, just to celebrate. What a season it's been. It's been incredible. We've had so many highs, way more highs than any of us expected. And it's just a shame how we're going to go out. Hopefully we'll go out with a bang and go and beat Southampton. It's going to be difficult because Southampton are playing really, really well at the moment. If they beat us as well, it'll be a bit sad that Southampton's double over us. So anyway, let's get on with the match, really. I think we tried and tried and tried. We didn't have the look of the bounce. We didn't have that player to carve open a chance, any chance. It is very disappointing not to have a shot on target, and we were at home and we needed a reaction after that terrible performance against Leicester, and obviously Wilder getting into all the players as well, and they did react. We did all right in first half. I won't say created chances, but we created opportunities to create chances, but nothing really fell for us, or we were missing that killer ball. I think we were missing an attacking midfielder, if I'm honest. Freeman, my dad did say, and this must be where I get it from, my dad said we needed a Duffy today on the pitch. I completely agree with him. We needed someone just to carve open that chance because Didsey weren't quite on it today, I don't think. McBurney wasn't great either. And when your two strikers aren't great and they're not getting the service, then you're not going to score a goal, are you? We didn't really come close to even getting a goal. Like sometimes you can have really good chances without having shots on target, like Everton did. Everton had a few that they got into really good positions and then put it across the face of the box and there was just no one there. We didn't really even have any of that. So yeah, let's start from the beginning. I thought we started the brighter. I think Everton had more of the ball. I thought we moved the ball around really well. We got players into good positions high up the field. There were a lot of balls just given away tonight, expecting players to be there and them not to be. Overhit balls, underhit balls. It just felt like the end of the season, really, and neither of us have got anything to play for, which we obviously did. Everton didn't, but yeah, it's one of them things. Sometimes it just doesn't happen for you. And this was definitely one of them days because Wilder could say that for the Leicester game, we didn't put in any effort in, we didn't put any tackles in, we just let them have the ball for most of it. But we didn't do that today. Wilder can't come out and say that. And I've not heard what Wilder said, but I'm sure he's not going to come out and say we didn't try. We did try. It just wasn't our day. We have those days sometimes where we just can't find a pass. We're getting into good positions, but we're just not finding that final ball. And I think that's something that we've got to kind of remedy in the transfer market. We need to bring in somebody or a couple of players that are going to look dangerous when we're going forward. Someone with either a bit of pace, like a couple of wingers maybe, because I think the problem with our football sometimes, we've got a great plan A, but when it doesn't work, there's not much of a plan B there. We're constantly like going down the wings playing quick 1-2s, and that's great to watch. But sometimes you need a plan B, and I think that we go down the wings a hell of a lot, like way too much. We never go down the middle. You never see us creating anything down the middle. But I can't say much about this team. They've performed above and beyond this season. But it would be nice to bring in a couple of quality players up the top of the pitch. Like I said earlier, they had a lot of chances where they played some nice 1-2s and stuff and got free. There was one where Sigurdsson played it through Jack O'Connell's legs, and then Walcott couldn't find anyone because Richarlison's not a striker. He is not kind of like a number 9, a top of the pitch player. He's someone that kind of sits off or plays on the wing or something like that. So he's not one of them that's going to be darting in front of his man to get a touch on the ball and score. So yeah, when Walcott got in that position, he put it across the box and he just wasn't there. Then there was Calvert-Lewin hitting the post with a header. I thought Dean Henderson was a little bit to blame for that one, because he was beaten completely. The ball came across and Henderson punched it, and he didn't get enough on it, but I'm not having a go at him for that. He just sprinted to his front post and kind of watched his front post. As soon as he did that, Walcott put it to the back post and he was stranded at his front post, and he's desperately trying to get across, and if Calvert-Lewin would have got that on target, it'd have been a goal. So I think Henderson made a bit of a mistake by doing that, but got away with it. So yeah, that's all right. Sander Berge got caught a little bit underneath the ball, and we all know that Calvert-Lewin is brilliant in the air. So when he's jumping, he's got momentum, he's going forward on you and he's jumping on top of you, you're never going to win that ball. I remember Ender Stevens having one on the edge of the box that I was like, go on lads, and then he just absolutely skied it into the upper tier, I think it was. Basham had one down the wing where he got put in, and I think he tried to put a cross in, and it kind of went at the keeper, and the keeper made it. He was terrible, by the way. Jordan Pickford is awful from crosses. Like really, really early on in the game, Ollie Norwood put a ball right under the crossbar that just went past the post, and he was scrambling. It was scrambling all day. Like, if Dean Henderson doesn't get the number 1 spot for the 2021 Euros, Nick Pope's got to get it. I think Nick Pope will get it, if I'm honest, because Pickford's been poor this season. And I think, obviously with Nick Pope, I think he's leader of the clean sheets. I think he's going to get the Golden Glove. I think he probably deserves it in the end. I think Henderson's made a couple more mistakes than Pope has this season. Anyway, yeah, so we had the Basham chance, or the Basham opportunity, where he should have put it across the box and not really given Jordan Pickford anything, because it was too close to him and he obviously pushed it wide. Went into the second half, we were chasing him around like headless chickens, like trying to get the ball back, and we played well. We got stuck in. There were some nice little niggly challenges, which I love. George Baldock is like master of the niggly little challenges, and at one point he definitely stood on Digne, and he meant to do it. We all know he meant to do it. He stood on him and then pretended like he didn't know what he'd done, and then tried to help him up, and he weren't having none of it. But George Baldock was getting in there and giving him some. I just wish other players like Sander Berge would. But one of my mates said it's just one of them things where he cares more about his pass percentage sometimes than trying to find that killer ball through. And it's like, shall I go and play forward? Not sure about that one, so I'll turn back and I'll play the easy ball. And sometimes we've got too many players that do that. I think Osborne does that quite a bit. I think Sander Berge does that quite a bit. And when we're playing really good football and we're moving teams around and we're giving and going, sometimes you don't need that killer ball because you've played such good football around teams that you get yourself into good positions. But when teams have been watching us all season and trying to figure us out, you sometimes need someone to take the bull by the horns and take someone on, or play that killer ball through. And for me, Fleck, when he came on, Fleck was probably the only player willing to do that. And Bash, really. Bash played one excellent ball across the box. I think Keane just got a little bit on it, like not enough to for it to land back to, I think it was McGoldrick, and then Pickford picked it up. But I think that was the only one. I'd completely forgot about that, actually. That was one tiny weeny moment where it could have gone for us and it didn't. I thought Fleck was really good when he came on, obviously coming back to fitness, but doesn't really matter now. I was glad Osborne started because I felt like Osborne, just because he had one below par game, didn't deserve to be kicked out of the team for Fleck. And he had another chance today. I don't think he didn't cover himself in glory, but I think when the whole team plays well, Osborne looks brilliant. But when the whole team doesn't play as well, Osborne doesn't really have that in him to go and take the bull by the horns like Fleck and maybe take someone on and play a nice through ball, a defence cutting ball or something, which Fleck did do to get put Sharp away, and Sharp was very, very nearly in. Don't know what he did. He kind of, I don't know if he misjudged the pass through or the weight of the ball, but he was kind of caught on his heels and it just went away from him. Which I was saying at the time, if that was in League One, Billy Sharp would have took that on and smashed it past the keeper. But yeah, it was just one of them games, guys. Like, we've got one game left. We've got Southampton away. It would be nice to go to it and give them kind of that clap off and say, thanks, guys. We really thank you for everything you've done this season, because they've been excellent. Yeah, it's just a shame that we've kind of faded away, haven't we? I think we've just lost that little bit of fitness. Been playing a lot of games as well. And when you're coming up against teams like Spurs and Arsenal, who've got strength in depth and have got the money to buy quality players for a lot of money and just leave them on the bench, that's fine for them. But when we're coming into these games and we're playing 2 a week, it's difficult, and I think that's kind of took the toll on him. Honestly, I think if we'd have carried on and there wouldn't have been this whole restart or this whole lockdown situation, we might have got into Europe with the momentum that we had. And do you know what? The only thing I am glad about tonight was that it looks like we're going to finish more than 2 points away from Europe. Because if we'd have finished 1 point behind Europe or 2 points behind Europe, everyone would have gone mental about that Aston Villa goal. Let's just completely put that out of his minds. It's looking like we're not going to finish 2 points off Europe. So let's just ignore it. It's happened. It's been. It's gone. It was an injustice. It's one of them things. It happens. It happens to lots of teams. Let's just put that out of his minds, because it's going to drive us crazy if we don't. Anyway, I'm not going to go through the players. They were mostly poor, weren't they, today? Not poor as in like the Leicester game, but just final ball wasn't there. Lots of loose passes. Is there anyone that I can pick out? I thought George played quite well. I thought Bash played really well. I think that's about it. The defence did well. I've not even spoken about the goal, have I? I've completely forgotten about the goal. I've gone off piece. We just weren't switched on with it. Richarlison beat our defence to the ball, flicked it into the corner. Great header. Henderson, I felt like he could have got more of a hand on it, but he got a bit on it, and I'm not going to give him too much crap for that, because, again, Henderson's been brilliant all season. When it's slowed down, it looks a lot easier to save than when it's going at full pelt. Obviously, he's put that ball in with some interest on. He's flicked it on with interest. Yeah, I'm not going to say anything more about that. Just not great defending. I'm going to leave it at that. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate if you watched it first and foremost, because every time United lose a game or people are annoyed, like, the views are massively down, which I understand. But I appreciate everybody who watches the video. If you've watched it and you got to this part of the video, please like it, leave a comment. It obviously helps me a hell of a lot with these videos and getting to more people. Also, we're nearly on 10,000 subscribers, so likes, comments and subscribers help a hell of a lot. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you for the Southampton game. Stay in good nick.